All right, we got a lot of NFL news that I want to dive into here on today's Verts episode. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, but want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. If you've been here for a while but haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I would encourage you to do so. We're dropping daily NFL content. We'll work in some college football as well once we get closer to the college football season, but would love to get to 11,000 subscribers once training camps roll around. So if you want daily and free NFL videos, hit that sub button right now. All right, let's kick things off with Shedeur Sanders, who, by all accounts, has had a pretty good springtime after the draft. And, we've talked about that on this show. It could have gone one of two ways after sliding into the fifth round. Would he have a good attitude? Would he kind of mope about it? He has had a good attitude, has been performing well by all accounts. But then this happens, right? He gets caught speeding, going 101 miles per hour in a 60 zone. Look, I did a little short on this yesterday. I'll expand here. Is this the end of the world in a vacuum, this one little incident? No, nobody was hurt. He's not the first guy, rich guy, to get out in a car and go too fast. He won't be the last. But it's just not something that he needs right now. I mean, he's already fighting this kind of uphill battle where there's a lot of attention on him. He did not have the draft process that he expected to, and he's going to be in the spotlight, and everything he does is going to be scrutinized, fair or not, because of who he is. And because that he is Deion Sanders' son, it's just a dumb decision, right? Like, what do you gain by going 100 in a 60 when you know all eyes and all pressure are on you and you're in the thick of this QB competition and you've impressed in a lot of ways, which has been a good sign? And I said it at the draft, I'll say it now. You're not going to convince me that Dillon Gabriel is a better player than Shedeur Sanders, but at the same time, you have to be able to trust the quarterback. And I don't just mean as a player. You can't be a franchise quarterback in the NFL if the organization doesn't trust you. That starts with the ownership, the GM, the coaches, and your teammates. You have to gain their trust. And there's no way he has all their trust less than 2 months on the job. And then you add this into it. If you're Kevin Stefanski waking up yesterday to this news, you're just not very happy about that, right? And you're like, why would I trust you? Because that's a reckless decision. So, is this going to end his career or anything? No, of course not. Like, he didn't even get arrested. He got a speeding ticket. But it's just like, come on, man. Like, you've been having some positive momentum here. You got training camp next month. Who knows if you do really well? Probably won't start week one, but maybe you're number 2 in line after Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett. It's just not necessary, and it's not needed. So unfortunate news that I saw and that I wanted to react to here, and hopefully it's something he learns from because, again, everything he does is going to be scrutinized. How big of a deal to you is this Shedeur driving incident? Scale of 1 to 10. Like, fair or not, if this is Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts, it's probably like a 2 or a 3. It's like, all right, Jalen, let's be smarter. You're our franchise quarterback. But he's already the franchise quarterback, right? Dak Prescott's the Cowboys' franchise quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is a 3rd or 4th stringer that just got drafted in the 5th round. He's got a lot to prove. So in this situation, I'd give it a 5 or a 6. Again, not a huge deal, but it's not a nothing burger either. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, Travis Kelce has slimmed down. Jeremy Fowler had the report recently that he's lost about 25 pounds. Kelce talked about this as well. And, there's been speculation. Could this be his last year? Could this not? Did he consider retiring last year? Well, we heard from Kelce yesterday, and want to read through a couple of these quotes here. He said, I got 1 year on this contract. I know that. We'll try and figure out something for next year. The Chiefs organization knows how much I love them. I can't see myself playing anywhere else. I got to say, that doesn't sound like someone who's thinking about retirement. Now, I do think once you get to a certain age, you kind of acknowledge that you're year to year in this league. And I think Kelce, especially acknowledging he's got 1 year left in his contract, yeah, I'm under contract through 2025. We'll see if something works out next year. But does that sound like someone who's calling it quits after the season? I think if he has another productive year, and then now that he's lost this weight and maybe he can be more of just that receiving big slot receiver, doesn't really need to worry about blocking, maybe that extends his career by 2 or 3 years. Who knows? He also said this: did he consider retiring last year? He said, I love football. I don't think I really thought about it that much. I love coming to work every single day. Wasn't a very tough one for me. I know I'm getting older, but at the same time, I still feel like I've got a lot I can prove in this league. And I remember when all the retirement rumors and chatter happened last year around the Super Bowl. It's like, guys, he told us a few weeks ago he plans on playing for a while. I didn't buy the retirement rumors. Obviously, you lay an egg in the Super Bowl. And it's like, oh, maybe he's just done and he's going to walk away. But then you take a step back and you look. It's like, yeah, he's not what he was 4 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. He's still a guy who caught 97 passes last year. Yeah, he's not going to make guys miss in space like he used to. But can he catch 75 balls and have 800 yards and a handful of touchdowns? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Him and Patrick Mahomes obviously have a really great connection on and off the field. I still think he can be very effective. And I like this move to shed some weight because I do think one thing that was clear, especially by the end of last season, he was definitely slower. And I don't think all of a sudden he's going to be back to being, wiggle in space Kelce, but could he be a little quicker than he was last year? Could it help him last throughout the course of the season, especially if Andy Reid continues to manage his snap count, which is something he's done over the past couple years? Don't emphasize him much as a blocker anymore. Yeah, I do think he could play a couple more years. So we'll see where it goes. I think he's year to year, and hell, if they win the Super Bowl this year, maybe he walks away, but I never bought he was walking away last year, especially when they got pummeled in the way that they did. I think he'll mostly be a slot receiver moving forward. They'll manage his snap count, especially early on in the season, and hopefully have him better equipped for a deeper playoff run, because that was the one difference last year. He was not the same for those last couple of playoff games that he had been in the prior several years. How many years do you guys think Kelce has left? It's obviously at least one. Is it 2, 3? I'm going to guess 2. I think he plays 2 more years. Give us your thoughts down in the comments. All right, some news that just came across the wire, and then we'll wrap things up. C.J. Mosley retiring. He got cut by the Jets in March and, was kind of just floating in free agency, right? Like, he was out there, and you're like, this guy could still play. He's pretty good. I'm surprised he hadn't signed anywhere. Maybe he'll sign in training camp. Not the case. He's calling it a career after 10 years. And I thought Ari Meirov had an interesting note here saying that he was a 5-time All-Pro. And I looked it up. They were all second-team All-Pros. But still, like, if you told me C.J. Mosley was a 5-time All-Pro, I'd be like, I would guess more like a 2-time All-Pro earlier in his career. This quietly was pretty close to a Hall of Fame career, I think. I don't think he's getting into the Hall of Fame, but if he doesn't have the neck injury in 2019, and if he doesn't sit out 2020 as a COVID opt-out, who knows? Like, could he have gotten in, especially if he played a few more years? I mean, he was still racking up 100-tackle seasons year in and year out. So he quietly had a very, very good career. People almost forget how good he was in Baltimore before he signed with the Jets, and it looked like a disaster early on in New York because of those 2 seasons I'm talking about. But then he quietly played some good ball the last couple of years. So best of luck to him as he retires and walks away after 10 seasons. All right, guys, appreciate you for making it this far in the video. That makes you a real one. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.